jiggles the water about, releasing the cranberries from the bushes. They all float to the surface. And here comes the next machine, and that's collecting them all together. And finally, as I said, they're all scooped off the surface and sent off to market. So that is how you can pick the pick of the crop without actually picking it.
How can you enjoy the ups and downs of riding a bike? Cycling is great fun. Well, going downhill's fun, going uphill is slightly harder work. But the bike is driven by the rotary motion. The pedals go round, that drives the back wheel round. Let me show you a device which doesn't go round and round, it goes up and down. The humble pogo stick. Amazing fun, but really not very good over long distances. Let me show you this. This is a machine which combines the up and down and round motion. Look at it, it looks just like an ordinary bike until you look more carefully. You realise it seems to have two frames, the first one and the second one. And if you look at it head on, you'll realise that the pedals are opposite each other as opposed to being one at the top and one at the bottom. So how on earth can you drive this bike round? Well, the answer is this second frame. The second frame at the bottom connects with the crank, and that crank is driven by the weight of the rider on the seat. Does it work? Well, actually it works quite well. You see, this is very efficient because you're actually using gravity to propel the bike forward. My weight on the seat pushes down as the pedals come up, pedals go down, seats go down, pedals go down, seats go down. You get kind of funny looks from people as you're riding around on a bike like this. But I'll tell you what, it's definitely good fun. And that's how you can enjoy the downs and the ups of riding a bike. That's how.
Now, how can you put the wind up your friends? Gareth, welcome back.
Ah, Gareth, there you are.
Lovely to see you.
Glad you could rejoin us again.
We have missed you.
Yes.
Yeah, please, take a seat.
Suspiciously friendly.
Sit down, old boy.
News!
Every
I'm
time.
terribly sorry.
What was that?
A whoopee cushion, actually.
Fell for it.
Yes, an old but still funny joke. The only problem with a whoopee cushion is that it only works once, because then you have to blow it up again. They're really hard to hide, and you are not in control of the timing. So, to take the whoopee cushion onto the next millennium, engineers in the United States have been trying to come up with a high-technology replacement. And for this, they've had to go back to the very essence of science itself. They have studied certain formulae. This one, concerning the pressure to volume relationships in a moving fluid.
Indeed.
This one up here, this was fantastic. This was compressible gas flow in a flexible pipe. The transition from laminar to turbulent flow was obviously crucial, and also audio speaker impedance.
Yes.
The timing was important, so they've come up with a radio signalling system and an ergonomically designed handset.
Have they? What does it look like?
This is it, the remote-controlled whoopee cushion.
Wow!
Now, all you have to do is put it next to your friend, Fred,
Yes.
and then just press the button.
Fred!
And, of course, you can do it as often as you like. Fred! And you don't have to keep blowing it up.
I do apologise.
And that is how you can put the wind up your friends.
Really, I'm most awfully sorry. If you feel you must have information on that, or indeed any of the other hows on today's programme, don't forget to record the data burst at the end of the programme, or visit our site on the World Wide Web. Now, how old is How?
Well, this programme, we've been doing How to 7 series, so 7 years.
And it don't seem a day too long. Little has changed. Carol's still out brainboxing every single one of us.
Kind.
Gareth's still either bumping or breaking everything he touches. But we wouldn't have him any other way, would we?
Wouldn't, definitely.
But How To, in fact, is a revival of a much older programme called How. And this is how it used to look.
How? There we are. That's what all the gold that's been dug up since the beginning of time would look like. Now, can you visualise that?
No, because it's all falling down.
But, did you know, Jack, that it is estimated there are only 41,000 metric tons of pure gold still to be dug up. 4 eggs as well you need. You need the whites from 4 eggs. Quite a simple operation to get the whites out of an egg, as you know. So, we'll assume that's been done. So, you've got the whites of 4 eggs. Very important, just to get the whites, nothing else. Beat them up into... Whites of 4 eggs. What happens now?
Well done, Fred.
Fantastic.
He was good, my father, wasn't he?
Things never change. You were so handsome. You still are.
What are you going to
No,
say?
you still are. You still are.
I mean, that programme, How, began in 1966, which means, in 1996, we are now 30 years old.
Any birthday
Happy
celebration
birthday.
deserves a cake. And
Well-
hey, how about that?
Indeed. And that's a stroke of luck. I've got a knife here as well. Isn't that
And
fortuitous?
here's a little present especially for you, because of course we weren't on the original How.
No, you
And
weren't even
this
born.
says 30 years of magnificence.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, I'll tell you what, I'll now cut the How birthday cake. And Gareth, it's the last item in the programme, so will you begin, please?
All right then, Fred. How'd you get to Never Never Land?
You mean like Peter Pan?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the children had to think nice, magical thought.
Yeah, that's one way of doing it. You see, about 100 years ago, a Victorian stage designer called George Kirby simplified and revolutionised one of the best stage special effects of the day. You see, when J.M. Barrie wrote the story of Peter Pan, he collaborated with George Kirby to make it appear as if the actors could actually fly on stage, and this is how he did it. He used a very simple device called a drum and shaft. It's normally used for lifting heavy weights with a little effort. For instance, my small furry friend here, who weighs 2 kilograms, can be lifted with just a 1 kilogram effort. So a 70 kilogram person could be lifted by a pull of just 35 kilograms. And with the use of very thin steel wires and making use of the pendulum effect, it was possible to make it appear as if Peter Pan and his pals could actually fly from one side of the stage to the other. These techniques ensured the success of Peter Pan on its opening night.
Hello, I'm a little darling.
My name is Peter Pan. I have just flown in from Never Never Land.
Oh, you never have.
No, I did. I'm looking for my shadow. I can't find it anywhere. Someone has cut it off. And I can't find Tinkerbell either. Tinkerbell, where are you, Tink?
Oh.
If you believe in fairies, clap your hands.
Oh, yes, I believe in fairies, yes.
Suppose you think that's funny, don't you?
So with J.M. Barrie's vivid imagination and the engineering skills of George Kirby, that's how you get to Never Never Land. So, until How returns next year, that's the last How for now. I
I want
fly.
to talk to you, mate.
You'll have to catch me first.
Come here.